Right. So you see what that says? Y'all ready? Whew. Still waters. It's a low tide too. It's real low. The water, the coloring looks different. It looks a little lighter. So we're at the beach, chilling, working on that good old mental health. I should have bought my bathing suit. I wasn't thinking. I had a feeling that I wasn't supposed to be in the house, that I needed to get out. I was finishing up on some stuff, so yes, dears. It feels so good out here. Look at the sky. It's about to jump it on down. Dump, dump. So I guess I'm being interrupted because I'm in the middle of doing my art therapy. And I really don't want to be interrupted. But I mean, you saw how the car said dad vibes. I'm trying to figure out, I'm just like, God, what's going on? Right? So then I look over and what do I see? Dad vibes. So sometimes I have to step in and assist individuals. I think that was a dolphin. I have to assist individuals with parenting, with their dadding, which is crazy, right? Like, I'm a woman. Like, what do I know about fathering? But I mean, my son's father has purpose in fatherhood. And there have been times to where, it's two dolphins. I hope they jump out of the water so my son can see, because I know he's looking for them. But sometimes, like I've had to support my son's father through his, through his purpose in fatherhood. And I mean, I've had a lot of practice. So, other people, God started sending me into other people's lives, other men, to help them with their parenting. I'm really starting to see it doesn't matter if you're a woman or if it doesn't matter if you're a man, because there are men to where it's like they're better mothers than a lot of the women. So, definitely got to get over the bias of male and female when it comes to divinity. I'm glad I did this. I just can't figure it out. I'm just like, why do I feel like I'm being pulled? Like I'm trying to close out on my art therapy session, but I just keep getting pulled. It's dolphins. I think that they saw them. We came out just in time. My son loves seeing the dolphins. They ain't jump out though. You just see their fins in and out of the water. So yeah, when it comes, I was kind of surprised that my son asked to go. My son asked to go to the beach. That's how I kind of knew. I was just like, what is going on? Like, I just feel something inside of me, like telling me that I need to get out of the house, but I'm just like, why the fuck do I need to get out of the house now? Like I pretty much been ripping and running. You know what I mean? I had lunch, so I felt as if I would be able to just chill. But child, I'm not gonna miss out on no opportunity when he want to work on his mental health. Shit. I could be asleep. I don't like to be awoken when I'm asleep. I don't like nobody wake me up when I sleep. I'll jump out sleep. I'll jump out the bed like, okay, come on. Hell yeah. Children be moody sometimes. And when you force them, you don't make it fun. And you kind of mess up your relationship with them too. You know what I'm saying? I feel tired. It feel good as a bitch out here. Now my shoulder's starting to hurt. Uh-oh. You gotta tell me something. What you gotta tell me? I'm just about to chill. Obviously, we know somebody's having issues with dad. Somebody's having issues with parenting. You know what I notice about men? You know, they have a challenging time sometimes with dealing with their sons because, you know, they don't necessarily want to open up emotionally. You know, because I guess, you know, you have it in your head that the son, one day he's going to be a man. So, you know, you're trying to teach him what a man is. But what you forget is how to connect. You forget how to connect to a child as a human being instead of, you know. I have a feeling somebody wants to take me on a date. Y'all ready? Okay. So this is the mystery of God, okay? I tell you, boy. So, you know, God is like a father. God is a mentor too. So when we deal with issues, dealing with dad or mom issues, you know, God is the one that's going to take you in and raise you up. Okay, I had no idea this shit was going to happen. I had no idea. I was just like, there's like an interference. But I mean, what's up? What's going on? So this morning, when I went to go out to get my jog on, you know, I wanted to clean up the kitchen, and I had extra stuff to do, and I didn't want my son's father in there. I know I'm supposed to be stop smoking, but you know, this shit, I spent all my money. I only had enough for a Black and Mild, so I said, bitch, I'm about to get me a Black and Mild. So whatever. So I went to the store, and because I don't want my son's father in the kitchen, he goes in there and he cooks in the morning, right? So, you know, I don't want to tell him, oh, you gotta wait to finish eating till I finish, you know. So I was like, let me just buy him a breakfast sandwich, and that will hold him so I can clean the kitchen. I ain't gotta hear his mouth or his cranky, right? So, you know, I was gonna pay. You know, I went to go pay for the breakfast sandwiches because I got one too. And the guy said, I'll pay for it for you. So I was like, wow, look at this Junebug. What do you want? Your non-seeing ass. This is, I think that's God. I think that's God. God is everywhere. So, excuse me, just let me have it for today. Goddamn Junebug. So the guy ended up paying for the breakfast sandwiches. So I was just like, wow, you know. But a couple of days ago, there was a guy. He was special needs. He was trying to get tobacco, but his card declined. So I paid for his tobacco, which was only $4. Look at this Junebug. It was only $4, you know. So I paid for it. So I was just like, wow, look at that. But at the same time, I'm just like, I can't understand why that happened out of nowhere. But anyway, so that was something that happened, right? So then, you know, my son just pop up with wanting to go to the beach. So we got his friend too. So, you know, then they come to me talking about they hungry. I tell you, the boys gonna eat up your money. They come to me talking about we're hungry, we want McDonald's and all this type of stuff. So McDonald's wasn't around, so we had to go to Burger King. You know, I was just like, well, I'm hungry too, but I ain't have enough for all of us. So I had to sacrifice, but that's okay, because we got food at home. You know what I'm saying? And remember when I showed you dad vibes on that card, right? So like I said, I'm assisting, helping somebody out, with their child. So usually, um, either I'm assisting the dad energetically, or the dad has to leave the child with somebody. So dad has trust issues with who is around the child. You know what I'm saying? So God calls me in to, to, you know, make sure shit is protected spiritually, I believe. Right? So they talking about they hungry. Little mongrels ate up all my goddamn money. But that's okay. You know. I feel like that's what it was for. Somebody paid for me. You know what I mean? So I won't think it like that when they ask me. I don't care. I don't know. If the last of my money is gonna go, I don't mind it going to charity. You understand what I'm saying? I had enough to give me a black and mild. And then as soon as I get home, the dog gotta use the bathroom. I said, oh my God, sister cannot get away. I said, yeah, let me smoke this black and mild, honey, because I'm just like, damn, I'm all over it. Like, I'm being here, there. I got my own responsibilities. God is calling me in to assist somebody else with their responsibilities, you know? Do a quick reading. Just do a quick reading. I was totally blindsided. I'm just like, I could feel it. I could feel somebody pushing me on my back. I'm just like, why you keep trying to push me out of the house? I'm tired. I just finished eating. I'm about to lay the fuck down. But then I was just like, damn, I gotta finish up on the project. So I did that. As soon as I sit down, my son is just like, can we go to the beach? So I'm like, okay. So then they was hungry, which is good, when it comes to mental health, you got to eat. So if they hungry, you got to feed them. You know what I'm saying? You got to feed yourself. I just feel so excited and happy on the inside. But I'm tired. Here go that June bug. I swear, like, it's a whole bunch of June bugs. They be flying back and forth, but none of them, no June bug has flown, like, around me. They blind. It was just flying around me like it could see me. That's how I know. So this is like the mystery of God, and also the spontaneousness. You know what I'm saying? To build momentum for optimism. Okay? What are the messages? Uh-oh, we got eternity. Bitch. Okay, Woman of Science in reverse. Ace of Wands. I could feel that Ace of Wands. Somebody is excited. The Hierophant. Uh-oh. So somebody has learned. It's like somebody has learned a lesson. Either you have learned a lesson or somebody else has. But at the same time, the Hierophant, hold on. Because this could represent travel. You may have to travel to an institution, or, like, let's say if your grandma's sick and she's in a home, you may have to travel to that, like, home. Okay? Hospital or something like that. So we have exuberance, 3 of Wands. We have strife. Is this my reading? Okay, it's not mine. Because the 5 of Pentacles, that's the broke card. I'm about to say, damn, I just went broke. Is they talking about me? It's not me. Okay. So it looks like there's a couple. But it could just be one person within their masculine and feminine. They're having a hard time. This is serious mental issues. Okay. So in the past, you showed up with wisdom, right? And with using your wisdom, you made a decision to where you're dealing with maybe opposition. This is definitely opposition because it's opposing energy. To where your opposition, they're indecisive and they're struggling with bad mental health, okay? So this is a man, okay? Very masculine, okay? So I don't know why age is so important, but this is a middle-aged man, okay? So anywhere from like close to 40 up, maybe to like 50, between 40 and 50, or close to 40. I don't know why that's important. There's a lot of yellow here, so there's a lot of confidence. So you're making a very strong decision. Nothing is going to go wrong for you at this time. So when it comes to something important with the Hierophant here, I mean, you don't have anything to worry about. I think somebody needed to know they don't have anything to worry about. Okay? I feel like people, so you may be around these two people. Okay, so these people are underdeveloped, which means that you are the catalyst, you are the example, but these individuals are not following your example. Okay? So this always leads to an individual trying to compete with you. So instead of, and the shit is sad because they need the Hierophant. The Hierophant has the key. That's the gimme gotcha. So the lesson is, be careful how you treat people. Be careful on your way up, because you never know who you need on the way down. And I mean, that's pretty much what I pick up. So each one of them have the lesson to learn. Be careful how you treat other people, and then be careful how you treat people on the way up, because you never know who you need on the way down. Okay? So, I mean, it's giving me pioneer with the Three of Wands here. This looks like some type of an altar, shrine, altar or shrine. I pick up something about a harvest too. These individuals may have left you in the cold. So the thing is that they're trying to reject you. They want you to feel rejected. They're rejecting you on purpose. They're trying to make you feel that way. Like I said though, but they need you. So I feel like you've learned your lesson with dealing with them. You see who they are. You know what I mean? You may even see that in the future they're going to need you. So, if they leave you out in the cold, if they're trying to make you feel rejected, it doesn't matter. It's like they're trying to trigger like abandonment issues. Do you have abandonment issues? So you have overcome. Congratulations. You have overcome your abandonment issues. So they were a test. Okay, you see how that shit works? Yeah, in the end, they need you, but even they are being used as vessels for you to learn from, okay? So when it comes to your abandonment issues, you have learned it's better to be alone than be surrounded around motherfuckers who really don't care about you and who really don't love you, regardless of who it is. Right. Uh-oh, I feel like you want some type of a glow up too. You got new energy. This is eternity, so you have eternal life. You passed the test. I feel like this was very challenging. Was it a very challenging test? Because I think that maybe, I think that ever since you were a child, you're always triggered by feeling left out and abandoned. But the thing is that that's God's protection. You see, the human brain, that's why the human brain is powerful, but sometimes it's too powerful for its own good. It don't understand, because the human brain, it works off of trauma. It's triggered by trauma. But in this case, it's kind of like, your worth and your value now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if you don't appreciate me, if you don't accept me, then fine, I'm out. We don't have to do this. I have no problem with being alone, being by myself, or starting from zero to work my way up. Okay? So yeah, it's a lot of yellow. Okay? A lot of yellow. Yellow is sunlight. Yellow is the solar plex. So this is your willpower. I feel like this woman was trying to steal your willpower, because that's what this woman knows about you the most. That's what they see from you the most. They see that your star power, your star quality comes from your will. They thought that, well, maybe they did, but I feel like, they thought that they were more important than what they really were. They thought that they had an effect over you. They thought that you would care. Like, they thought that they could break you down, blah, 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 blah. They thought that they could break your confidence, but it only made it stronger. So, even if you're like, if this is your parents and they cut you off financially, you're going to be just fine. Nothing is going to go wrong for you. You have eternity. Nothing is going to go wrong for you at this time. This is a great awakening. So if you had to break away from your family, that is what you were supposed to do. That is what God was calling you to do, and you heard the call. So God says, it may be a little dry financially, but see, this is the part to where we get to see how God works. I've been homeless with my son, and we didn't starve. We met great people that took us in. Like, they just wanted to take care of us. Like, people with their food stamps was just like, y'all get what y'all want. People would buy us food. I'm trying to tell you. And of course, you won't have as much as you would provide for yourself. You may not have the type of foods that you want that you would get for yourself, but you will have what you need, and you will have enough. You will have enough. So congratulations. This was a very hard test. I can tell. You passed with flying colors. It's orange, yellow, and red. So, I'm picking up strong masculine, but these, you have gotten in touch with your feminine, right? The 3 lower chakras are feminine. The 4 upper chakras are masculine, right? So when we deal with the feminine, that's us appreciating ourselves, So when you appreciate who you are, you want to surround yourself around people who appreciate you too. People who celebrate you instead of people who tolerate you. You know what I mean? So congratulations. Okay. Your character stands. Because I think that's what they were trying to do, touch your character. And you stood strong, you stood solid. Okay. So you have awoken spiritually. So, your inspiration is going to come from, like, your dreams. Maybe you're the type of person to where you need to believe in somebody or people, in order to feel inspired or even self-motivated, but now everything is going to be coming from within, right? So now you're going to be pulling inspiration out of you, out of yourself. You're very proud of yourself. Very proud of yourself, and you absolutely should be. This is what you call the creator. You are creating your life. All right now. May the church say amen. All right. Until the next time, we'll talk again. Thank you.